Get up to STH. To do something, often something that other people would disapprove of. They got up to some playful mischief in the lab after hours. Get you nowhere. If something gets you nowhere, it does not help you to succeed. Complaining about the broken equipment gets you nowhere. Get you nowhere. Fail to help you succeed. Ignoring evidence will get you nowhere in science. Get your act together, idiom. To organize activities so that you can make progress. To meet regulatory standards, the laboratory must get its act together and streamline procedures. Get your act together, idiom. To organize your activities so that you can make progress. He needed to get his act together to meet the research deadline. Get your own back. Take revenge. She tried to get her own back. Get your own back, on SB, idiom. To do something unpleasant to someone because they have done something unpleasant to you. She got her own back on the colleague who sabotaged her setup. Get to gain the upper hand, idiom, countable noun. To get into a stronger position than someone else so that you are controlling a situation. The lead researcher gained the upper hand during the team debate. Get to gain the upper hand, idiom. To get into a stronger position than someone else so that you are controlling a situation. The research team gained the upper hand in securing the grant after presenting superior preliminary data. Get to have STH out of the way, a verb. To finish a task or to get rid of something unpleasant. They got the tedious calibration out of the way before starting the actual experiment. Get to jump on the bandwagon, idiom. To join a successful activity for advantage. Several firms jumped on the bandwagon once the vaccine platform proved scalable. Get to lay your hands on STH, accountable noun. To find something. It was difficult to get your hands on the rare chemical reagent. Giant, organization. A very large and important company or organization. The tech giant funded the AI research project. Giggle. To laugh in a nervous or silly way. The students giggled nervously during the demonstration. Give and take, idiom. When people reach agreement by letting each person have part of what they want. The research collaboration required some give and take to finalize the experimental design. Give rise to STH. To cause something. The mutation gave rise to a new trait in the bacteria. Give rise to STH, noun. To cause something. The chemical reaction gave rise to a gas that was collected in the apparatus. Give SB a hard time. To criticize someone and make them feel guilty about something they have done. The supervisor gave the intern a hard time for breaking the protocol. Give SB a hard time. To criticize someone and make them feel guilty about something they have done. The teacher gave the student a hard time for breaking lab rules. Give SB a hard time, phrase. To criticize someone and make them feel guilty about something they have done. The supervisor gave the intern a hard time for not following the safety protocol. Give SB the benefit of the doubt. To choose to believe. Reviewers gave the author the benefit of the doubt pending replication. Give vent to. To express strong anger or another strong feeling. She gave vent to her frustration after repeated lab failures. Give vent to or noun. To express strong anger or another strong feeling. The editorial gave vent to frustration over flawed research policies. Give way. If something gives way, it falls because it is not strong enough to support the weight on top of it. The scaffold gave way under the heavy equipment. Give way, verb. If something gives way, it falls because it is not strong enough to support the weight on top of it. The bridge gave way under the heavy load of the machine. Give way to STH. To change into something else. Old software systems often give way to more efficient platforms. Give way to STH, verb. To change into something else. Old industrial sites gradually gave way to urban green spaces. Glare, light. Strong bright light that hurts your eyes. The glare from the microscope lamp made it hard to focus on the slide. Glare, look. A long angry look. The principal gave the students a glare after the lab accident. Glare, intransitive verb. To look at someone in an angry way. The scientist glared at the assistant for mishandling the sample. Glow, light. A soft warm light. The bioluminescent algae produced a gentle glow in the water. Glow, skin. When your face feels or appears warm and healthy. After a successful experiment, her face glowed with excitement. Glow, intransitive verb. To produce a soft warm light. The petri dish glowed under the UV lamp. Glow, intransitive verb. To have a warm and healthy appearance. The young plants glowed under the greenhouse lights. Glow with happiness, pride, etc., intransitive verb. To feel very happy, proud, etc. He glowed with pride when the research paper was accepted. Glue, stick, transitive verb. To stick something to something else with glue. She glued the slides onto the board for presentation. Glue, uncountable or singular noun. A substance used to stick things together. The scientist used laboratory-grade glue to secure the components. Go, sound, a movement, intransitive or transitive verb. To make a particular sound or movement. The alarm goes when the temperature exceeds safe limits. Go, working, intransitive verb. To work in the right way. The centrifuge is going smoothly after calibration. Go against the grain, idiom. If something goes against the grain, you would not normally do it because it would be unusual or morally wrong. It went against the grain to falsify data, so the researcher refused. Go against the grain, idiom. If something goes against the grain, you would not normally do it because it would be unusual or morally wrong. Altering raw data goes against the grain of scientific ethics. Go by, move past. To move past. The hours went by quickly during the intensive lab session. Go down, be considered. To be considered or remembered in a particular way. This experiment will go down as a milestone in genetics. Go downhill, idiom. To gradually become worse. Without proper maintenance, the lab equipment went downhill rapidly. Go downhill, idiom. To gradually become worse. The project went downhill after the lead researcher left. Go into STH, describe. To describe, discuss, or examine something in a detailed way. The lecture went into the details of CRISPR technology. Go on, talk for a long time. To talk in an annoying way about something for a long time. He went on about the safety protocols for over an hour. Go out of your way to do STH. To try very hard to do something pleasant for someone. The lab assistant went out of her way to help the new interns. Go out of your way to do STH, verb. To try very hard to do something pleasant for someone. The mentor went out of her way to provide the students with extra laboratory resources. Go overboard. To do something too much or to be too excited about something. The team went overboard celebrating the minor discovery. Go overboard. Do something excessively. They went overboard with spending. Go so far as to do STH. To take the extreme action of doing something. The scientist went so far as to replicate the experiment 3 times for accuracy. Go so far as to do STH. To take the extreme action of doing something. The researcher went so far as to conduct tests at midnight. Go through the motions. To do something without real effort or interest. He went through the motions of analysis. Go through the motions, idiom. To do something because you are expected to do it and not because you want to. He went through the motions of cleaning the lab without enthusiasm. Go through the roof, idiom. If the level of something, especially a price, goes through the roof, it increases very quickly. After the breakthrough, demand for the new lab equipment went through the roof. Go through the roof, idiom, a noun. If a level goes through the roof, it increases very quickly. The temperature in the incubator went through the roof due to a malfunction. Go through with STH. To do something unpleasant or difficult that you have planned or promised to do. The team went through with a risky experiment despite initial doubts. Go too far. To behave in a way that upsets or annoys other people. Altering the data would go too far ethically. Go too far. To behave in a way that upsets or annoys other people. The prank went too far and caused equipment damage. Go up, explode. To suddenly explode. The chemical mixture went up when exposed to heat. Go with the flow, idiom. To do or accept what other people are doing because it is the easiest thing to do. In collaborative experiments, it is sometimes best to go with the flow. Go without, STH. To not have something that you usually have. During the blackout, the lab had to go without electricity for several hours. Go fall to pieces, idiom. Become emotionally overwhelmed. He fell to pieces after the news. Go run deep. If a feeling or problem is very strong or serious. Historical patterns of deforestation go deep in this region. Good, morally right, uncountable or singular noun. What people think is morally right. It is good to follow ethical guidelines in research. Goodness, uncountable or singular noun. The quality of being good. The goodness of the nutritional content was verified in the lab. Grace, politeness, uncountable or singular noun. The quality of being pleasantly polite. She handled the criticism with grace. Grace, transitive verb. When a person or object graces a place or thing, they make it more attractive. The new poster graced the lab wall. Graceful, polite. Behaving in a polite and pleasant way. The presenter was graceful during the Q&A session. Grain, piece. A very small piece of something. A grain of salt was added to the solution. Grain, quality. A very small amount of a quality. There was a grain of truth in the initial hypothesis. Grain, seed. A seed or seeds from types of grass which are eaten as food. Wheat grains were tested for gluten content. Grammatical. Relating to grammar or obeying the rules of grammar. The report was carefully checked to be grammatically correct. Grasp, achieve, no plural. The ability to obtain or achieve something. His grasp of complex chemical reactions impressed the research team. Grasp, hold, no plural. When you hold on to someone or something. She grasped the railing tightly to prevent slipping in the lab. Grasp, understand, no plural. When you understand something. She quickly grasped the concept of molecular bonding. Grasp at STH. To quickly try to get hold of something. He grasped at the falling microscope to prevent it from breaking. Grasp the nettle, idiom, transitive verb. To take action immediately in order to deal with an unpleasant situation. The team decided to grasp the nettle and address the contamination issue immediately. Greet, react, transitive verb. To react to something in a particular way. The discovery was greeted with applause from the scientific community. Grim, bad. Worrying and bad. The data painted a grim picture of the environmental pollution levels. Grim, serious. Sad and serious. The professor's expression was grim as she discussed the failed experiment. Grim, unpleasant. A grim place is ugly and unpleasant. The abandoned lab was a grim place, covered in dust and broken equipment. Grin, smile, intransitive verb. To smile a big smile. The students grinned at the successful chemical reaction. Grin, countable noun. A big smile. He had a broad grin after successfully completing the experiment. Grin and bear it. To accept difficulty. When delays were unavoidable, the team had to grin and bear it. Grin and bear it, intransitive verb. To accept an unpleasant or difficult situation because there is nothing you can do to improve it. Despite the lab mishap, she decided to grin and bear it. Grip, emotion, transitive verb. When an emotion grips you, you feel it very strongly. A sense of awe gripped the scientists when the first results came in. Grip, interest, transitive verb. To keep someone's attention completely. The presentation gripped the audience from start to finish. Grit your teeth, idiom. To accept a difficult situation and deal with it in a determined way. She gritted her teeth to complete the challenging experiment. Groan, countable noun. A long, low sound such as one expressing pain, unhappiness, etc. A groan of disappointment echoed through the lab when the sample was contaminated. Groan, intransitive verb. To make a long low sound such as when expressing pain, unhappiness, etc. He groaned after dropping the heavy equipment on the floor. Grounds, land, plural. The land around and belonging to a particular building or organization. The university's research grounds included multiple experimental greenhouses. Grounds, reason, plural. A reason, cause or argument. There were valid grounds for the safety inspection. Guarantee, promise, countable and countable or singular noun. A promise that something will be done or will happen. The manufacturer provided a guarantee that the equipment would meet safety standards. Gulf, countable noun. An important difference between the opinions or situations of two groups of people. There was a gulf between the theoretical predictions and the experimental data. Guts, organs, plural. The organs inside a person's or animal's body. The biology student studied the guts of the dissected frog carefully. Hail, call. To call or wave to someone to get their attention. He hailed the taxi to take him to the university. Hail, ICE. If it hails small, hard pieces of frozen rain fall from the sky. Yesterday, it hailed heavily, disrupting the outdoor experiments. Hail, uncountable or singular noun. Small hard balls of ice which fall from the sky like rain. The hail damaged the greenhouse's glass panels. Hail is be STH as STH. To say publicly and enthusiastically that someone or something is something very good. The scientist was hailed as a pioneer in renewable energy research. Hand STH down or hand down STH. To pass possessions or traditions from older people to younger ones. The experienced researcher handed down her notes to the next generation of students. Hand given your notice. To formally tell your employer you will leave a job. Employees must give notice to ensure continuity of operations. Handle, touch, transitive verb. To touch, hold or pick up something. The technician handled the delicate slides carefully. Handy, near. Near to a place. The lab was conveniently handy to the student dormitories. Handy, useful. Useful or easy to use. This portable microscope is very handy for field research. Hang, in air, intransitive verb. To stay in the air for a long time. Dust particles hung in the air above the chemical reaction. Harmless, not upsetting. Not likely to shock or upset people or to cause problems. The harmless chemical produced no fumes or reactions. Harmony, music, countable. Uncountable or singular noun. A pleasant sound in music. Harshly. In a harsh way. The critique harshly pointed out the flaws in the experimental design. Haul, amount. An amount of something that has been stolen or that is owned illegally. The police seized a large haul of counterfeit lab equipment. Haul, transitive verb. To pull something somewhere slowly and with difficulty. The technicians hauled the heavy microscope across the lab. Have, got, to do EBSTH. Used to say that you feel certain that something is true or will happen. The researchers have got to be accurate in recording their observations. Have a chip on your shoulder, idiom. To blame other people for something bad that has happened to you and continue to feel angry about it. He had a chip on his shoulder after the peer review rejected his paper. Have a soft spot for STH, idiom. To like someone or something a lot. The professor had a soft spot for innovative student projects. Have a soft spot for STH, idiom. To like someone or something a lot. The professor had a soft spot for innovative student experiments. Have a weakness for STH, a verb. To like a particular thing or person very much. She has a weakness for rare books on marine biology. Have it in for transitive verb. To dislike someone and want to cause problems for them. The senior researcher seemed to have it in for the new assistant. Have no time for STH, phrase. To have no respect for someone or something. He has no time for pseudoscientific claims. Have do STH, transitive verb. To arrange for someone to do something. The principal scientist had the intern prepare the reagents. Have STH on your mind. To be thinking or worrying about something. Funding shortages were on her mind. Have STH up your sleeve, idiom. To have a secret plan. The team had a backup method up their sleeve in case the experiment failed. Have the edge on over SB or STH. To be slightly better than someone or something else. The new protocol has the edge over the old one in terms of accuracy. Have your hands full, idiom, countable noun. To be very busy. With multiple experiments running, the lab assistants had their hands full. Have you carry STH on you. To have something with you. Doctors carry identification on them. Have you keep your finger on the pulse. To be stay familiar with the most recent changes or improvements. She kept her finger on the pulse of the latest genome editing techniques. Have you keep your finger on the pulse. To be familiar with the most recent changes or improvements. Tech companies must keep their finger on the pulse of software updates to remain competitive. Hazardous. Dangerous. Handling concentrated acids without gloves is hazardous. Head, front, top, countable noun. The front or top part of something. The head of the rocket was carefully designed to withstand heat. Head off. To start a journey or leave a place. The team headed off to the field station early in the morning. Healthy, successful. Successful and strong. The laboratory maintained healthy growth in its experimental cultures. Heap, pile, countable noun. An untidy pile of things. A heap of papers and lab notes covered the desk.